Good morning, doTERRA essential oil and yoga friends. This is Marty Harger, and today I want to talk to you about the concept of what happens when we are in a situation where it's all work and no play. I have a story about this because there was a time in my life when I was really out of balance between play and work. And at one point, I lived in Chicago and I was in a corporate sales position, and I spent all of my days a very stressful job working with high pressure negotiations. It was a very serious kind of a work environment. And I was putting in 60 to 80 hours a week working, negotiating contracts. And what I found was that at that time in my life, I really lacked a lot of flow in my life and a lot of fun. And as a result, I believe that I created some physical ailments in my body in an area that I want to talk to you about today, which is the second chakra or the sacral chakra. It's about 3 inches below your navel. And I want you to think about the organs in the body that are in this part of your body and how dis-ease or disorder in the body could create a challenge in that part. All of our sexual organs, it's our lower digestive organs as well. And what I found for me at that time in my life where it was all work and no play was that I created, I believe, a lot of tension in that second chakral area, the svadhisthana. And what happened was I developed really painful monthly cycle problems. I developed uterine fibroids. And a lot of that, may have been a coincidence, maybe not. And so what I really wish is that I had had the essential oils. Now, why am I talking about this on a yoga page? Well, I'm talking about this because a lot of times we focus on how we can balance our energies, how we can balance the chakras and create a sense of balance and well-being or homeostasis, which is very much the objective of incorporating the doTERRA essential oils into the yoga practice that we are having, our own practice, a class we're teaching, or hopefully something from the essential yoga program. So these workshops are designed to help people come to balance through the workshop format. But today I want to talk about the second chakra. And you might notice, maybe not, that there are ways to help work with a blockage in a chakra area. So if we think about the sexual organs, the lower intestinal organs, about 3 inches below the navel, what is physically manifesting in our body in that area? But this is the place where we get all of our flow. It's our creativity, it's our sexuality, it's our emotional body, it's our source of pleasure, comes from the second chakra. So I want you to think about those words, and I want to recognize that when we're out of balance in the second chakra or the sacral chakra, what happens is we have a lot of overwork and no play. At those times, we're often struggle to laugh and enjoy life. We're over serious. We are unable to feel emotion. And what we want to do is to help transform that area through a couple of different techniques to be more playful, to be more sensual, to relax our heart and our mind, to open ourselves up to a sense of fun, and to be more nurturing and loving. So as we are trying to bring about playfulness, sensuality, relaxation of the heart and mind, a sense of fun, there are a lot of tools we can use, and the essential oils are one of them. One of the tools we can use is color. Orange is the color of the sacral chakra. So I'm wearing an orange shirt today with a little orange mala, with some beads with the orange mala and an orange scarf. And you can surround yourself with color to shift the vibration if you are feeling out of alignment, too much work, not enough play. One of the things that we can also do is incorporate the concept of affirmation. Now, affirmations are even more enhanced when we include essential oils. What a beautiful way to practice yoga, to incorporate some of the doTERRA essential oils, single oils and blends that are specifically designed to help us open up the second chakra and get it flowing again energetically, moving in creativity, and flow and sexuality and sensuality and pleasure and getting those fun things back into our lives. So I'm going to suggest some single oils that could be very beneficial, and I want to talk about those specifically. Let's talk about the fact that spice oils are really effective to bring about that spice of life. And some of the oils that I love to incorporate are things that are hot oils like cinnamon bark, so hot and spicy. I also want you to think about something like black pepper, which is a great essential oil to incorporate. One of my favorite versions of a hot and spicy oil is actually cassia. So if I was going to try to incorporate something to help me balance second chakra, I might offer some cassia essential oil, perhaps with some grapefruit in water. Sipping that throughout the day is bringing that spice energy into my body in a way that is beneficial physically and emotionally. And as I take a sip out of a bottle, I also can smell it aromatically to help me. So those are just a couple examples of some spice oils. So I would suggest, if you're looking at spice oils to spice up your life, how can you incorporate essential oils like black pepper, cinnamon, and cassia into your yoga practice? Perhaps it's making a blend. Maybe you want to think about adding some of the citrus oils, which are also excellent, like wild orange, tangerine, bergamot. I want you to think about orange citrus oils, okay? Orange coloration, wild orange, tangerine are perfect choices. So combining a spice like cassia with something like tangerine would be a wonderful way to elevate the energy of the second chakra. Now, the third element of single oils that we often incorporate to balance second chakra energy, to bring that creativity, bring the flow, and specifically to focus in sensuality, sexuality, are the beautiful flower oils of femininity. And those include things like rose, jasmine, and one of my favorites, neroli. These are all beautiful essential oils that you can incorporate to help bring that sensuality into your practice. So I love incorporating those. So let's go back to just, when we think about the single oils, let's go back to thinking about the single oils with affirmation. So affirmations that we can incorporate to balance second chakra sacral energy would be the phrase, I feel, or the phrase, I sense. I feel happy. I feel open. I sense the flow in my life. I sense my sensual self. I sense my femininity. I feel pleasure. I feel excitement for the new future. Whatever those affirmations are, you're bringing your attention with the application of a single essential oil, let's say neroli. We could put it on our wrists. We could be practicing, let's say we're bringing our hands up and over and in front of our face, taking in that beautiful aroma of neroli, right? And saying silently or out loud, I feel flow. I feel creative. I feel open to what's available to me. I feel ready to have fun. I sense that good things are coming my way. I'm opening up to the fun part of life, the creative part of life. So there are lots of interesting ways to incorporate the single oils, but let me suggest a couple of blends that would be excellent choices to help in balancing second chakra energy. And by the way, you could certainly create a class or a workshop or your own practice by layering in different essential oils throughout your time on the yoga mat. And this would be, for instance, some of the single oils or blends you might want to diffuse. Maybe you would apply them and continue your asana practice. So some of the favorites that I like, and most of you are probably familiar with these because they kind of, when you start thinking about sensuality, sexuality, feminine energy, creativity, what are the things that come to mind? Well, for me, things like passion, essential oil, perfect choice. Whisper, the oil of femininity. Clary calm. And also, like even the citrus bliss lotion is a great choice because citrus bliss is another great oil. So things like motivate, passion, clary calm, whisper, citrus bliss. these would be beautiful oils to incorporate in balancing second chakra energy. So let's talk a little bit about the action of incorporating. So we've talked about affirmation. We've talked about, what are we trying to bring up more of if we are in lack, if we are in the lack of out of balance, too much work, not enough play. We can look at color. We can look at affirmation. We can incorporate single oils, blends. But let's talk about our asana practice for a minute as well. This is really about more physical movement. This is about accelerating the physical movement and particularly the flowing movement of the hips. And so what could we do with that? Well, obviously in vinyasa practice, in our asana practice, we can incorporate more movement around the pelvic region. We can include more, forward and back, side to side. We can really have a practice that's more focused in that physical part of our body. But we can also look at some things outside of yoga, like hula hooping. That's a great activity. If you think about that circular motion, getting the flow going, right? You can think about belly dancing. That's an excellent way to go. And these are creative expressions of the second chakra. The more we bring more focus and attention to this area, the more the flow, the sensuality, the creativity, the energetic body gets going. So when we are trying to balance this second chakra energy, we can, as I mentioned earlier, put a few drops of something like cassia and wild orange into our water and drink it internally. We can apply it, we can use it aromatically and diffusing the oils in our environment where we're working, for instance, and try to bring a little more fun and play. But we can just get up and start moving, applying a little bit to the low abdomen, the low back, and really get ourselves in motion, get that circular flow and creativity going. So I hope that this was interesting, a little food for thought for those of you that are finding yourself doing a little bit too much work and not enough play. And second chakra balance is really important. I think the body gives us some pretty strong signals if we are not bringing enough creativity and joy and movement and flow into our being. We can work with the essential oils with our yoga practice and really help ourselves work from the inside out and bring a little more fun and joy into our lives. I hope this was interesting for you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll look forward to talking with you again sometime soon. Namaste.